Hello, everybody. How are you guys? I hope you guys are good. Daphne, hello. Thank you for coming over here. Appreciate it. Kimberly, good morning. Lots to go over this morning. So I hope everybody's having a good day or night, depending on where you are. Oh my gosh. Oh, hold on. I gotta get rid of that. Okay. Sorry about that. Outer Banks, good morning. Brenda Sue, good morning, everybody coming in. Dr. Mama, hello. Oh, so Sebastian's vigil happened yesterday. And ever since that vigil happened, all I have seen online on X is people attacking and going after Seth for the for the speech he made inside at the vigil. Okay. Everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe he would say this, can't believe he would do this, yada yada yada. You know what good morning, Nicole, Michael, Michelle. You know what I don't see? Anybody talking about how the mother and stepfather yet again did not show up for their son. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, so and so was there, so the parents couldn't go there. Bull. A, the parents didn't go to any of the previous vigils like they should have. B, somebody going there. So I don't give a shit if it was my son. Listen, it ain't going to stop me from going there. That is my child. But we know that's not how it works in Katie's life. We know that from everything we have seen. Now, everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe Seth is calling on this angel of death inside a church, right? Just going on and on. Like, who would do that? I can't believe it. Listen, if I was Seth, I would be doing a whole lot. I would be doing things a whole lot differently. Okay. But here's the thing. Everybody that's complaining about what he said or making a big deal out of what he said or trying to twist what he said or trying to attack him for what he said, he he may have called on the angel of death, but it wasn't for his son. It was for, and if you listen, he'll say that it was for anyone who gets in the way of finding Sebastian and bringing him home. That's all. And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, well, it's inside a church. I can't believe." And everybody, by the way, that is talking about this, I mean, not for nothing, but few of them said themselves that if they ever stepped foot in a church, the building would go up in flames. So it's those type of people that are talking. Brenda Sue, good morning. Hope Floats, thank you for being here. And listen, if I had to deal with the stuff that Seth has had to deal with from people, oh, I think I'd be 10 times, I'd be 10 times worse, honestly. Like me and Chad were talking about it. My husband, for those of you that don't know, we were talking about it. And this was the other day. And he's like, he goes, I would like to pull Seth aside and be like, listen, you want answers? There's an easy way to get answers. He goes, how far are you willing to go? Because you might end up in jail. But if you want answers, I can tell you how to get answers. That's how Chad's like, he's like, they would have to have 24/7. They'd have to have somebody watching me 24/7 because I'd be following them every place they went. I'd be sitting outside their house. I'd be, if I was Seth, right? No, Michael, they have not found Sebastian yet. I said, like, listen, if I was Seth, they, the mother and stepfather, not for nothing, they would have had restraining orders on me because I would have been relentless. So again, you got everybody attacking Seth for saying that, listen, he calls on this angel of death to freaking and the hand of wrath to get in the way or to stop anyone who is getting in the way of finding Sebastian and bringing him home. But mom didn't even care enough to show up. And a lot of people are going to say, well, she was scared for herself. She didn't know what kind of situation she was going to be walking into. I don't care. I don't care. If that were my child, it's funny that she can't show up at a vigil for her son because she's worried about her own life. It's too bad that she wasn't worried enough about her child's life. She's more worried about her damn self than she was her own child. Yeah, we are, Nicole. We are. He wants to do it. I want to do it. So we are. We're just trying to get things all settled before we can, before we start it. But yeah, we're definitely going to do that. It'll be a weekly thing. Yes, we're going to do that. Outer Banks, what new information? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just think it's funny though. I mean, I think it's that we have not seen I have not seen myself anything on X about Katie not even bothering to go. But I've seen so many people just going after Seth and attacking Seth for things that he has said. What? What? Hold on a second, y'all. Amber, good morning. What? Let me see. Oh, it's on. Wait, is that on YouTube? What? Um, what? Hold on a sec. I'll pull it up if I can find it. Um, oh, yeah. Well, no, I know Outer Banks. Um, oh, okay. I thought you meant like okay. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to play this real quick. Let me get it pulled up here. Did all you guys in here, did you guys all see the vigil yesterday? This has to be it. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling this up for you guys so I can. I thought it was. I thought it was really nice. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was. I mean, I thought it was really nice. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. I don't want to miss anybody. Beth, welcome. Well, I'll definitely check that out later because I don't. Yeah, I'll check it out later when I have time to do that. Oh, you were there, Michelle? That's nice. I wish I could have gone there, but it was very nice. Okay, let me pull this up.
Sacred prayer for Sebastian, calling upon the angel Samuel. Oh, most high God, ruler of heaven and earth, in the stillness of the solemn night, we gather with hearts steadfast, bound by Father's unyielding love for his son Sebastian,
Wait a minute, I
a
gotta.
child of light. Sacred prayer for Sebastian, calling upon the angel Samuel.
See, it doesn't say. I don't know, but anyway, let's listen.
Oh, most high God, ruler of heaven and earth, in the stillness of the solemn night, we gather with hearts steadfast, bound by Father's unyielding love for his son Sebastian, a
Hi,
child of
squirrels.
light, innocent and pure. By the eternal
Good
name,
morning.
we do summon Samuel, the angel of death, the guardian of divine justice, he who moves at thy command. O Samuel, fierce and unrelenting, stretch forth thy hand, not in wrath, but in righteous protection. Stand beside Sebastian, wherever he may be. Let no harm befall him. Let no evil touch him. Be his shield in the unseen places, his sword against those who do him wrong. With thy blazing eyes, seek out the wicked who cloak the truth in shadows, unravel their lies, and cast their work to the light. Break the.
Does anybody have a problem so far with what he has said? Huh? No, not anybody that's out for Sebastian, not anybody that's out for the truth to come out. Like, people were like, oh my gosh, he was directly talking to Katie and Chris during this. Everybody knows it. You're lucky all he's doing was talking to Katie and Chris, because that's not what I'd be doing.
Chains that conceal Sebastian's path and scatter those who stand in the way of his return. Yet we beseech thee, not for vengeance, but for revelation. Let the weight of justice press upon those who would see Sebastian remain lost. May the voice of truth thunder so loud that no decent can withstand it. O Lord of hosts, guide us with unwavering faith. Strengthen my heart. Strengthen everybody's heart so that hope never falters. Let love be the beacon that calls Sebastian home. For love knows no bounds and no night too dark. Until the day breaks and Sebastian is returned to his rightful place, we stand unbroken. For his name is etched upon our souls, and his light shall never fade. So let it be written, so let it be done. In the name of God, amen.
Exactly. It was so powerful. It was. Like, he just wants his son home. And he's so sick of the lies and the deceit and the deception and the, you know, uh, he like, I mean, imagine how you would be a year. Your son has been gone a year, and the person last known with him is being the way they're being and done the things they've done and said the things they've said. It's freaking insane. But everybody's going after this guy. Everybody's attacking this poor man. Yeah, a year, a year way too long. I mean, I'm glad the SCSO was there. I don't know. I think I was really moved by all the people, the community that Seth had. Like, I was happy that all these people were there for him, and because he does seem very broken to me. Very broken. Yeah, there's a lot of people there from from what I've seen and what I've heard, there's a lot of people there, which is really good. That's good for Sebastian. But I'll say it again, who wasn't there? Mom, stepdad. And a lot of people, I've had this happen to me in Kylie's case that I was on before this, and now I've had it happen to me in this case. I've had people, not an awful lot, but I've had some people, I can't believe you say the things you say about Sebastian's mother. I cannot believe you talk to a grieving mother, or talk about a grieving mother the way that you do. And I say it before and I'll say it again. I don't see a grieving mother. Her actions have spoken louder than her words. But everybody wants to go after this guy. The one who's trying, the one who is putting on vigils for his son, the one who is still searching for his son, the one that no matter how much crap people talk about him, he still puts himself out there to find his son, to spread awareness, to spread the word. While the mother sits there quietly behind the scenes and says, nada. Yeah, and I said that, listen, squirrels, I said that coming in to this case, because I didn't know anything about it. I started looking into everything, and I said, I'm not on this side or that side. I'm all about Sebastian's side. But the way Chris and Katie have, the things they have done, the things they have said themselves, the actions that they themselves have taken, has painted a clear picture for me as far as they go. And I understand we all see things differently, but that's my take. I see Katie ate up with guilt, in my opinion. She knows and has known what or where Sebastian is. I will check it out, Daphne. See, I think Katie never thought that it would get this big. Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually gonna play that clip. I got it right here. Let me pull that up. As a matter of fact, it was weird too how he said it. Like, Katie's got to be a big girl. It was weird. Nobody's talking about that, are they? Ugh. Yeah, it was super weird. I was like, what? Who says that? Never give up, Nicole. I'll say that till my dying day, though. Kylie did not drown. Kylie did not drive herself into that lake. Bottom line. All right, let me pull this up. Uh-oh. Oh my God, they made the video private. What? Look. Oh my God, you freaking figures. Oh, yep. Video unavailable. This video is private. What the? Okay, well, it says Chris Proudfoot says it's time for Katie to be a big girl and move on from Sebastian Rogers. Yeah. And of course, now you can't get it. Fuckers. Ugh. Well, that's a bummer though. Look, here it is. Video unavailable. This video is private. I saw that. I literally watched it last night. So a lot of people must have seen it last night and now you can't see it at all. And that's how things work. Um let's see. I know I should have. Fuck. There was a video of Chris saying that Katie needed she needs to be a big girl and she needs to move on from all this and it was really weird how he said it. Oh, on X? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Um I'll never find it like this. Okay. Anyways, I have to find that. No, you're good, alcoholic. You don't by any chance have them saved, do you, squirrels? Or have at least that one saved so I could play it? No, it was on QB's channel. He was on panel on QB's channel. That's what that was from. Looks like a certain somebody is going back to scrub some things from their panels because they're all buddy with them. All right, thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah. But anyway, it's really weird. But anyway, the point the point was that I was trying to make in the very beginning of all this was that people for the last like month or two, I've just seen relentless attacks on Seth, relentless attacks on anybody who disagrees with Katie and Chris, anybody who doesn't agree with their narrative, anybody who pushes back on things they have said or done, anybody who calls anything out. And it's sickening that these people, and the way that these people talk is like so trashy. And so like they remind me of people who like were on Jerry Springer's show back in the day. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but but then for these people to be sitting here passing judgment on others is bonkers to me. You have a group of people that will literally write threats to themselves, and not even whoever wrote those supposed threats that went out about people being blocked from the vigil and were clearly uneducated because there were the spellings weren't right. I mean, the words weren't spelled correctly. The wording wasn't right. I mean, clearly it was written by an idiot. And sent threats to themselves to try to paint the picture of, oh, this is why, Seth doesn't want these people here, and Seth doesn't want the parents here or the mother here, and blah, 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 blah. It's very disturbing that people that will do things like that are going to sit there and pass judgment on others. Hi, babe. It is crazy. It is just crazy to me to see some of the things. Like, you literally had people that were like talking days before, talking about going there and crashing this vigil and like starting crap with Seth. And it's like, who does that? You want to sit here and talk about being out for Sebastian? Then what kind of person is going to do that? I just think that's crazy to me. And then to sit there and pass judgment like you're up on this high moral horse. Seth did invite, yes, Brianna. Seth invited Chris and Katie on his live the other day. Yep. He's like, well, Katie is Sebastian's mother, so yeah, obviously she's invited. It's like I felt so bad yesterday after, like, while watching that video. I felt so bad. Good morning. For just the treatment that the father is getting. Now, he may not always do and say the right thing, right? We're all human. However, he's never blatantly come out and been against his own child like Katie and Chris have. I've said it before. There are two things, now three things that have painted this picture of who Katie is as a person and as a mother. A, when she was asked on Smiley's panel whether or not Sebastian was a burden to them. There was a long pause, and then Chris said no, and Katie never said a word. Her silence spoke volumes to me. Is your son a burden? She just sat there and never said a word. That to me says everything. I mean, what more do you need? If I was the mom, I wouldn't go either. Too much like a funeral. Well, it's not really a funeral. You know, everybody's saying prayers to bring Sebastian home. But if there was something going on for my son in my community, if there's something going on for my missing child and that I loved and cared and wanted to bring home, it's okay. It's okay. Squirrels. Um, don't even worry about it. If I if that was me, nothing or no one would stop me from being there to share in this for my child. The second thing that painted me, this painted Katie's character to me as a mother was how she would blatantly stand behind and watch as her husband hit her son with a belt, hit her son, and threw all his stuff away. And she sat there and let it happen and didn't say a word. The next thing is finding out that she had let her son have contact with her RSO mother and thought it was okay. Thought it was okay to leave your son and put your son in a situation like that with a registered SO so you could go out to dinner. To me, I don't need to know anything else as far as what type of mother you are. Oh my God. When Seth played those voicemails from Sebastian, I was like, oh my gosh. It was so sad. He was like, Dad, can you please bring me those clothes so I can look handsome for picture day? It was the cutest thing and the most heartbreaking thing all at the same time. Yeah. And then for Chris, yes, exactly. Super agent. And then for Chris to treat Sebastian the way he did over what happened to him when he was little. That's not okay. That is not okay. Oh my gosh. And I seen online, I seen on X that someone was talking about that and they were like, so wait a minute, you're telling me that Seth just happened to keep these voicemails from his son? Like, why would you do that if you didn't ever plan on anything happening to him? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, these messages were from 2017. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, well, he must have kept them for a reason. He must have known something was going to happen. Or maybe he just wanted to keep the voicemails from his son just because. And then they were like, well, wait a minute, he didn't have, why does he have messages from 2017? Why doesn't he have any new messages? And it's like, dude, every time this guy comes out and tries to share something for his son. Oh, and I'll tell you something else that made me really mad. But every time this guy comes out and tries to share something about his son, somebody's got something to say. Like, where's all the, you know, Katie, you know what Katie has shared with us? Katie has shared with us when Sebastian first went missing, she started putting out old ass photos of him years ago. Let's ask why that is. Let's ask why she didn't put out the photos that she had just taken the night before at Texas Roadhouse. Why wouldn't you give the cops those photos? Why are you going to? Your son just went missing. Why are you going to put out photos of him to the public that are from years ago when his looks have changed? Why is that? Let's ask these questions. Let's take the fact that Katie was the last freaking person to see him. She was the only one with him. Like I said, if I was Seth and it was my child, I mean, I'd be all over it. I might be in jail by now. That's what my husband goes. He's like, there's a lot of ways to get information from somebody. You might have to spend some time in jail, but you know what? At least you got your answers. Chad goes, if that was my kid and you were the last person with him and you were acting like she has, he's like, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Oh, okay. Thank you, squirrels. That's all right. Yeah, they seem to be some scrubbing some things from the internet that old Chris has said. True, DNA, true. My kids are adults and I have a voicemail saved from each one of them, special to each one's personality. It's not out of the ordinary. Let me pull that up. In my honest opinion of your question, CNY, because she didn't respect the older version of Sebastian. She had fun when he was younger, her words. You know what I'm saying, though? It's like, they're like, oh my gosh, well, why is he sharing these old voicemail messages? Nobody's going, well, wait a minute. Why isn't Katie sharing any messages? But that's not the important thing. Oh, Bailey. My dog just ran into my stand. Well, I'm sure, I mean, kids grow up, they become teenagers. It doesn't matter. They all get at it. They all have attitudes. I don't know. I don't understand where they're coming from. I'll never understand as a parent the things I've seen and heard from Katie and Chris, and there's just no changing my mind on that. And another thing I did want to address, during the live that Seth had about Sebastian for the 1 year, where Jennifer was on and Tony. Tony asked Seth about memories of Sebastian and things that he misses about Sebastian. Okay, thank you. And he talked about how Sebastian would take really long showers and the water would be so hot that he'd get out of the shower and he would turn the bathroom into a steam room and just sit there and bask in the steam. And people literally turned to that and tried to twist it and make it dirty. And they were like, well, what kind of father talks about missing his son or memories and brings up a shower? Like, he must be sick and twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people do. And it's like they take things and they twist things to try to make it fit some type of narrative that they're trying to push. And that, I'm not going to lie to you, that made me mad because I was like, why do you got to take things in such a dirty way? Why do you got to be disgusting? Why do you got to be nasty? Like, don't put your nasty, demented, dirty ass thoughts don't project that shit onto other people. Yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't help anything. And here's the thing, which brings me to my quote of the day. Karma has no menu. Karma is a universal law. You get back what you dish out. And thank God for that. Because sometimes that's the only form of justice that we see. Sometimes that's the only form of justice that people get. And listen, I'm not here just to bash the mom, okay, or the stepdad. Because on a personal level, they don't mean shit to me. Period. But as far as this case goes, and as far as Sebastian goes, they are the ones that have been deceitful. They're the ones that have been caught lying. They're the ones that have said very questionable things. Everything that I've ever gone after them for or said that they've said or anything I've ever done has been from their own mouth. Okay? That's it. From what they have said themselves. That is it. So I don't understand why others don't see it. Yes, everybody, please hit that like button and please sub up to the channel if you have not already done so. Yesterday was all about Sebastian. It's sickening to see some of the creators mocking and making fun of Sebastian, and it was sickening to see that they couldn't let this one day be about Sebastian. Yeah. It's sad. I pray that he will be brought home safely. Sorry, but all those told KP told of Sebastian was all before they moved to Tennessee, nothing current. Hello, everybody just coming in. Thank you guys for being here. True. But the problem is this is the problem. The problem is people will believe it because people don't do their own research. There's a lot of people out there that won't do their own research and they'll just sit there and believe what they're told and then go and spread that information. I don't understand it either, Barb. I don't understand it either. I see lots of clips though from these channels on X, and it's crazy. I don't understand why they have not been arrested on a smaller charge and then been in there and then been interrogated. Listen, arrest them on these things, right? Then interrogate them for the truth of what happened to Sebastian because they know. Like, I'm very, I'm very sick of that because Katie was the last person to see him. Exactly. It is so important to do your own research. And I literally tell those of you that have watched me for a while, you know that. Do your own research. Think for yourself. The information is out there. Go find it. Don't take my word for it. Go look yourself. It's so frustrating to me. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I gotta grab my coffee. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Is that true? I have to look. That's crazy if that's true. I mean, that's enough. Whoa. For someone to have what they say they had 287 pages of counseling reports from Sebastian at counseling. And from what Tony said, they're bad. They're like, there's a lot of things that Sebastian went through in that home. But it's like, wow, why are they not being hauled in? Just on some of those things alone. That is crazy, Alicia. So I just don't want to make sure I don't miss anything. Ellie knows and why they didn't do anything at the beginning when they could have got him back is beyond me. See, I know, and I've puppies. Bailey, Nala, stop it. My dogs are out here messing around. Sorry, guys. That I've questioned a lot of things that police have done in this case and how they treated the crimes, how they treated the house in the beginning, how they literally started looking at this as a runaway situation because that's what Katie claimed. certain things weren't done to the scene that should have been done. Um, Chris calling the sheriff's office instead of calling 911. There's a lot of things that I've questioned. And then when I saw that SCSO was there at the vigil, I was I was surprised they were there, honestly. I was like, wow. That's the thing that everybody seems to want to forget, right? Right before Sebastian went missing, Chris and Katie were so fed up with dealing with him that they wanted to send him to a home. And the home that they wanted to send him to, they told Seth about. And Seth was like, you can't send him there. Like, kids have died there. They cared so little about Sebastian that they were willing to send him to a freaking place where kids have died there from the abuse that they've at the hands of the people that run this place. So they cared so little about Sebastian that they were so sick of him that they were willing to send him there. Why on earth do you think that they couldn't have been responsible for whatever happened to him? Chris said that. Chris said, in this world, it's all about connections and networking. People have friends in weird places, and sometimes those friends can be extremely beneficial. Hello? Well, he didn't call 911. We know that. Oh, wait. Crime Time Buzz stated the Amber Alert was sent because there was a black sedan in the area and was not a stranger. They know who it was. Hmm. I don't know. I have to look into that. I can't just go off. Like I said, I do my own research when I hear things because I got to make sure. Agent 99, I'm with you. But he does have friends at the sheriff's department. Neither did the Wells. That wouldn't surprise me. If Chris said he called a friend at the sheriff's office. Oh, maybe he lied about that, but that's what he said. We know when Seth arrived. Well, according to Seth, when he arrived from work that day, that morning, that Sebastian went missing, when he arrived, which I believe he said was between 8 and 8:30 in the morning, that Chris's mom was there and Katie's friend was there. I can't remember the friend's name right now. But both of these people were there before Seth got there. Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Talking about Summer. Like, I have a few theories on what I believe may have happened to Sebastian. I've talked about them in previous videos. Um, and all of them could be plausible, in my opinion. But the fact remains that he needs to be found, and this needs to stop. Good morning, everybody coming in. Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. That's what I said. I said it seems like every case that I I feel like I get called to do, there's corruption. Some or both of the parents involved can't be trusted. Like, there's all kinds of issues, and it's like, damn. Sorry to say, Chris, but you live up to and been seen through like your favorite phrase, crystal clear. On dispatch, we hear the police say there's 4 plus the mother in the house when they arrived. I have not. DNA. I have not. Brianna, I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't know, and I don't want to say without knowing. And as far as Chris's mom goes, the way she treated Nina, who is the mother of her granddaughter, that tells me plenty of the type of person that she is. The fact that she took all of her other grandkids to, what was it, Disney World, and the only one she didn't take was Sebastian, tells me everything I need to know about her. That's just crazy. It seems like Sebastian didn't have the support from his family. I mean, Seth said he had Sebastian, 2 days out of every 2 weeks or something like that. He just said it the other day. I can't remember. I don't want to, don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. Hold on, I'm gonna check something real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm looking to see if I can find something I want to share with you guys. Huh. Sorry. Okay. Um I streamed the vigil yesterday. It was so sweet. Well, look what happened when Sebastian did report things. He reported getting hit by, and he showed his teacher something. And they called CPS. This is right before he went missing. CPS showed up, and Chris talked his way out of it and was like, "Oh no, he doesn't understand. I was just disciplining him because he lied and fabricated what Chris told the lady. He lied and fabricated what he told them." So, and then he said that the lady actually took Sebastian aside and was like, "Listen, you can't make things up to try to get people in trouble, blah, 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 blah." And then the lady, I guess, was like recently let go from CPS, thank God, because she obviously was not a very good social worker. But every time Sebastian reported things, he would get in trouble. He would get in trouble and nothing would happen to the person that he reported. What do you think that does to, what do you think that did to him? That told him, that sent the message to Sebastian that, listen, they're going to keep doing, like, they can do this to you and there's nothing you can do about it because you've told your teachers, they've reported it to CPS. CPS has come and gone and nothing happened. That kid had nowhere to go. Nobody to, what was he going to do? I'm sure, Mohawk Mom, I'm sure that's how that went down as well. Um, yes, KB took the kids and the family every year to Disneyland, but wouldn't allow Sebastian to go. He was told he had to stay home. So, that had to hurt Sebastian's feelings. Absolutely. I believe Chris's whole family is freaking pure evil. It is sad. And it pisses me off that these people get away with it and they're walking around out there free as birds, living their life. It's crazy. Is there anybody that wants to come up and share your thoughts on any of this? Share your thoughts on Sebastian? Anything at all? You have to have good and light to expose the darkness. You have to shed light to expose the darkness. And if people aren't willing to do that, if people aren't willing to speak against the evil, and then then we have no chance. No chance at all. This case has been a lot of people walking in shoes they aren't wearing. She has answers to her questions in her head and writes what person telling her down, then connects it all together. I don't know. Never heard of that person. I mean, somebody knows. That's the bottom line. Somebody knows what happened to Sebastian. Somebody knows. He did not just poof vanish into thin air. I'm so sick of it. Whoever knows needs to come out and freaking say something. There's no honor in silence. Right, squirrels? Yeah. Okay, Brenda. Thank you. I'm just so sick of seeing parents that don't stand up for their children. I really, really am. Listen, that tattoo. That freaking tattoo. To me said a lot as well. Broken heart till we meet again in heaven. Tennessee is a death penalty case, and in my opinion, Ellie does have evidence, and they only get one shot at this, and they want to make sure they have enough for a conviction. And I really, really hope that that's the case. Exactly. Katie knows her silence is her silence is completely insane. Her hiding behind her husband is ridiculous. Her not standing up for her son is mind blowing. Exactly. It's like the stay alive for me tattoo. Odd things to get when a loved one is missing. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. It is exactly like that. That's absolutely crazy, is what it is. If you really believe that your son is going to show back up and he's alive out there somewhere, you're not going to get that tattoo. That doesn't even make sense. Just like her saying he would have turned 16. He would have turned 16. And then she had to stop herself. He would have, he did turn 16. Yeah. I mean, and I like how people say, well, you don't know how you would react in that situation, and which, listen, okay, we can't 100% say for sure what we would do in a certain situation if we've never been in that situation. But I can tell you that, like, have you ever been in a store with your kid and you turn around and your kid's not there? Literally, this has happened to me so many times, and like the instant that my kid is not there, and you can ask any of my kids, I'm I'm like, I go from like 0 to freaking flipping out in not even a second. Like, I see my kid's not there and I'm like, "Oh my god." And I'm immediately in panic mode. And I'll turn my daughter will be like, "Mom, I'm right here." I'm like, "Don't ever do that again. That shit's not funny." That is not funny. You know what I mean? So I could only imagine how I would be if my kid was actually missing. In a year? Forget it. Dude, I'm kicking in doors. I am stalking you. I am on your ass like white on rice if I think you had something to do with my son going missing. And if I think you know something, yeah, I might end up in jail. The neighbor stated CP and KP were outside fighting in the backyard. Oh, um, and they seen and heard CP say either Sebastian goes or I go. We see Sebastian is now missing, and CP chose C. I'm sorry, KP chose CP over her son. Um, yeah, I woke up, he was gone. Yeah, so that's the same thing Casey Anthony said. We all know how that frickin' turned out. That's exactly what Casey Anthony said. I went and laid down, woke up, my kid was gone. She also got a tattoo while her kid was missing. Do you remember that? She was also living her life while her kid was missing. Do y'all remember that? Ugh. She was asked what she would do differently, and her answer was lay down in front of his door. Okay. And that's the thing. That's the bottom line. If, and here it is. If you want answers, Katie has them. It's like it's like my husband said, and when he first said it, I'm like, "Come on, babe. What's he going to do?" He doesn't want to end up in jail. Doesn't want to end up in prison. And my husband's like, If you want to know, if you really, how far are you willing to go to get the truth? Because sometimes that's what it takes. I'm like, you can't just tell people. I'm like, you can't just, geez. That's how he is, though. He's straightforward. Like, I'll get the damn answers I'm looking for. It's like, it bothers me. It's like Katie saying he used to come in and get snacks. And I don't care what anybody says. That's not right. I don't know why he walked out the door. Can also be Sebastian's bedroom door. Did he catch CP in the house? What, honey? And that has a way of happening. Your subconscious has a way of coming through in things that you say. It has the way of letting a little bit of truth come out in things that you're told. That's why it's so important to listen to exactly how people word things. Exactly. They need to be they need to be separated, Katie and Chris, in separate rooms and keep going at them, and one of them will crack. Let me do something quick here. Oh, okay. No, I keep, let me see. I don't know what's wrong with people, you guys. I don't freaking get it. Um, I'm trying to. I said, did you guys see? There was this video on X. It was a dad flipping out at his stepson and his wife, and the whole while, his younger son, I'm guessing maybe it's his another stepson, was like hitting him with the broom because he was being so rude and rotten and mean to the stepson. And I just thought, wow, I hope that's not what Sebastian's life was like, because it was sad to see. 100%. I believe they're all evil. Did you see that? Oh my God. I was like, wow. And that's immediately the first thought that popped into my head. I go, well, I hope it was not like that for Sebastian, because that was rough to see. I mean, I don't know how anyone would talk to any child like that. And that's what makes me mad, Lexi, is police did not treat the house as they should have that morning. Luminol should have immediately brought in, CSU should have been brought in, and things should have been done correctly instead of going off of Katie's say so that he just walked out the freaking door. I've had thoughts too about him being home, especially because he's literally said like that, like on that one Smileys, he was like, well, if he would have went out his bedroom window barefoot, yeah, we'd have heard him scream because he would have landed on the flower beds. Like, how could you say we would have heard him scream if you weren't home? Like, I believe Chris has slipped up a lot of times. Oh, in certain things. Um, but again, I can't sit here and say 100% Chris was home because there's people that have said, yeah, we verified he was at work. His truck was last seen at work at 8 p.m. I'm sorry, at the campsite at 8 p.m. on the 25th. And he was seen at 5:15 a.m. at the job site. She couldn't even tell the public what kind of shirt he had on. In every single interview they've ever done, they're like he was wearing a black shirt. It either had Minecraft on it or Star Wars on it or something else on it, but we don't know which one. And it's like, dude, that should stick into your brain the last time you saw your son and what he was wearing. But she couldn't even tell us what kind of shirt he had on. And I believe the only reason they come out and did the interview with the news lady on the 1 year anniversary was to tell the world, stop looking at us. We need to push the narrative of this video that SF put out, and people need to stop looking at us. Start feeling sorry for us because look at what we've endured for a year. And you know what else? I like the news lady was like, "Well, what do you want to say to the people that think that you may have something to do with your son's disappearance?" And she said, "Just stop and pause and think." You know, she never said we didn't have anything to do with it. Never, not once have they actually come out and said we didn't have anything to do with our son's disappearance. She said, "Stop and pause and think." Lady, I've done a lot of thinking, and here's what I come up with. You know what happened to Sebastian. So why don't you stop protecting yourself, protecting your husband, and for the first time in your life, be a mother and stand up for your child that you failed miserably. Those are my thoughts. I believe it was to clear their name and to get people to focus on this video because that might be Sebastian. That's what they're saying. Cops said, listen, we've had this footage. That is not Sebastian. It has nothing to do with this case. But old SF has put that video out just like he did in the Kylie Rodney case. He come out with a video all of a sudden and everybody went, boom. Yep, they didn't look at that anymore. They just walked away. And he expected the same thing to happen in this case. Thank you, RD. I mean, yeah, Ask Squirrels on Fire. She was all over the Kylie Rodney case too. SF put that video out, and all of a sudden, half the people who were on it jumped off. They were like, "Yep, accident. There she goes." And he expected the same thing when he put this video out to go, "Oh, yep, there's Sebastian. Chris and Katie are innocent." It's bull. Like, and I did think it was interesting that so all of these things have come out right? And law enforcement has not come out to deny or squash or hold up anything that's come out. But as soon as SF put that video out, the cops immediately released a thing and said that's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with Sebastian's case. So I did like that. Right. But he was working for her family, just like he's working for, the Proudfoots. It's disgusting. Yeah. Yeah. No, 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 no. That's the dog walker. That's not Chris. Yeah. No, but that's the thing. And that's, this guy went and he sent it to the news stations like breaking news. This may be a break in the case for Sebastian Rogers. Did you see the video? I was like, "Oh my good lord, this shadow figure," you know? But there are a lot of people that believed that video and they went, "Okay, now Chris and Katie, I believe they're innocent." And it's like, "You friggin' dummies." I still don't feel right about Chris leaving with his mother to go get the camper and cops letting him leave to go get the camper and then being gone for, 18 plus hours during a missing child investigation. Something still does not sit right with me with that. They cover for each other, let's be honest. Chris and Katie. Oh, Serenity. Thank you for the super chat. That video is dumb because if Sebastian had been out there around midnight, then Katie would have heard him leave since that is around the time she got off the phone with Chris. And I think another important thing to bring up too is Chris said on panel that when he was gone, Katie would let the dogs sleep in their bed. When Chris was home, Katie had to put the dogs in the cage, right? In the kennel or whatever. Chris said that he was gone from the very beginning of February and he did not return home until February 26th after Sebastian was reported missing. They were on the phone. They were on the phone supposedly the night before for 3 hours, okay? She says, "Chris told me to put the dogs in the cage." But Chris just told everybody that when he was gone, the dogs didn't get put in the cage, they slept with Katie. So why that night did the dogs have to get put in the cage? Why? Make that make sense. Because maybe somebody else was coming into the house that night? Maybe, possibly. Let me see. I don't want to miss. I know you guys all got some good comments today. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if they hi YouTuber. And Marley, everybody coming in. Thank you guys for joining. I don't know if they followed him because at the time, right? I don't know. They didn't say. But that's it. Let's talk about that for a second, real quick. Somebody was saying about SF sitting on the footage. SF claimed to what? In October, he said that he had the contract signed and he officially became the PI for the Proudfoots, right? Good morning, everybody. So you're telling me from the very beginning, from October, he had all of this footage, but he waits until just recently, waited till the 1 year mark to release it and say possible sighting of Sebastian. Let's break the case. Come on. Come on, guys. No, you would have immediately put that out if that's what you thought. But however, if you were saving it to push a narrative and waiting for it to coincide with mom and stepdad's new interview, it would make sense to save it, wouldn't it? It's so crazy. Bottom line, they are both involved. If they were splitting up, they would have turned on one another. They both had a hand in this. The blood is on both their hands. I agree. I agree. Apparently, I don't even know that freaking clown. Apparently, he's got a license in a couple different states. Who freaking knows, honestly? So much shit's faked on the internet these days. Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here. Karma has a way, though, of coming around, and that I couldn't choose. There was two quotes that I liked. I like the one that I put up there, and then I like the one where it's like karma's like a rubber band. You can only stretch it so much before it snaps back and smacks you in the face. I feel that way though. I feel like when he is in a case, it's like, okay, I can already see how this case is going to go. The reenactment was in November. Corner house video, backyard view, video and trash truck. Video SF used the same font on the backyard and trash truck, and one is a Nest camera and one is Ring, different font. Police also, let's not forget about this, that right in the very beginning, the people across the street, police never even collected their video footage. Never. Like the guy had to go take it on the 9th day. The guy had to go and take the footage to the police station because he's like, this rewrites every 10 days. If there's anything on here, I wanted you guys to have it before it erased, before it overrided. What kind of police aren't going to collect all the video footage from all around? Like, just everything about this case is so wrong and so sketchy. It's like, poor Sebastian never had a freaking chance. No, that is what the neighbor actually I didn't even hear that from SF. Where did I get that from? I got that from the neighbor. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But listen, I know that we do know this. We do know that at the beginning, the police treated this as he ran away or walked out the door on his own. Okay. We know they didn't secure the scene. We know there was people all up and through there. We know they didn't bring in luminol. We know they didn't bring in and treat the house as they should have. We know that they let Chris leave. We know that family and friends weren't all family and friends weren't immediately interviewed within the first 24 hours. So we do know that the police didn't do the best job in this case. So when someone says, "Hey, they didn't even collect my footage," I, that's plausible. That fits in with the rest of everything else. You know? Exactly. It's all about who you know. Just ask Chris. Yes, thank you guys for being here, joining in on the conversation. It's just frustrating. You know, I have a hard time with seeing evil and darkness and corruption against a child. I have a hard time with that. And then when the parents, especially the mother, acts the way Katie does, I have a problem with that. And it's so hard for me not to. It's a really hard thing, guys. If you knew me, you'd understand. God's going to get them for mocking him, and God's judgment day, and everybody's going to be around to watch all over the world. Just my opinion. They reap what they sow. I'm with you, sister. I'm with you on that. Karma, they say karma's a bitch for a reason. That's a universal though, you know, you get back what you put out into the world. If you're a piece of crap and you do all these evil things and you don't stand up for what's right, you're going to get back the same stuff. There's another saying that I really like. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I think that goes for so many people. I pray justice is coming. I do. We seen Brandy Neal out there begging for her son, and she did not stop searching. She still sleeps on the couch. And look at Gabby Petito's mother. I mean, that's the thing too. When you see other parents that have had missing children and how they've, you know, they will go to the ends of the earth for their kid, and then you see parents and mothers like Katie Proudfoot, and it literally turns your stomach because you're like, with a mother like that, I mean, holy cow. Just imagine living in a home like that, though, with her as your mother and with Chris as your stepfather, and just not having anyone else to turn to. It's like Seth saying he gave Sebastian $40 and Chris immediately called him and was like, yeah, did you give Sebastian money? And he was like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, because I wanted to make sure he didn't steal it from you. Because Chris was looking to punish Sebastian for something. I think he got joy out of punishing Sebastian. I think he got joy out of, because Chris is such a miserable fuck. It's Sunday. I will refrain. But Chris is such a miserable human being. And he's so unhappy with himself that he enjoys berating and humiliating and putting down and disciplining a child. Now, they can't have it both ways. Katie sat in that 1-year interview and was like, oh, he's becoming a man. He's becoming a man. But at the same time, you're over there going, well, okay, yeah, he's 15, but mentally he's 10. That is a child. What is wrong with you people? But you're going to attack the father for calling on, angel of death to go after anyone who gets in the way of finding this child. Wouldn't you just like to get Chris into a room and for just 5-10 minutes treat him the way he treated Sebastian? See how he likes it. Give him a taste of his own freaking medicine. Have him crying like like the little bee that he is. Pick on someone your own size, Chris. Oh, can't do that. Can't do that. Wouldn't want to get his ass handed to him. I wouldn't let my husband, and he's the father of all my kids, I wouldn't let my husband talk to my child that way. Are you kidding me? Hey, reality, AMC, Susan, thank you guys for stopping in. Eh, let's talk for a second about Chris throwing all Sebastian's toys away, right? So Chris was like, and again, all these things that I'm saying came out of Chris's mouth himself. So Chris was like, yeah, I told Sebastian to clean his room. And he didn't, he come out and I go, did you clean your room? And he was like, yep, but he didn't. So Chris took his stuff, put it all in a trash bag, handed the trash bag to Sebastian, and made Sebastian throw out all of his own stuff. While Katie sat there and let it happen and didn't say a freaking word. Didn't stand up for her son. Let her husband throw his stuff out. Have any of you ever had your parents threaten to throw your stuff out if you didn't pick it up? Because I've heard of parents doing that. I personally have never had that happen to me, but I've heard of parents saying, if you don't, I'm going to pick it up. And if I pick it up, it's getting put away. It's getting put up, You're not getting it back for a while. I've never actually seen or heard of a parent picking up their kid's stuff, making the kid walk it out to the trash and throw it in the garbage. Yes, I did hear she got fired, Mama May. The woman who showed up at the house and didn't do anything, she was let go. And he was happy about it. Like he that's the type of thing that makes Chris happy, is punishing Sebastian in that type of way, doing something so bad. Oh, you too, reality. I would just never I would just never do that to a child, any child. I'd never throw my kids' stuff away. But that's what gives Chris, Chris gets joy out of that. He gets joy out of disciplining Sebastian, and that's the scary thing. Because a lot of parents, they're like, "Yeah, I had to discipline my kid," and I freaking, a lot of parents are like, "This hurts me more than it hurts you." It is not that way with Chris. Chris gets joy from that, and that shows you what kind of person he is. And then he literally brags about it to people. And it's crazy. It's like when he was telling about the belt situation. He was like, Sebastian didn't have a belt on. And I was like, "Where's your belt?" And he was like, "I don't know," or whatever, didn't have it on. And he goes, "Whack, got him." That that right there. Chris just saying it like he said it there, like, "Whack, got him." I wanted to reach through the computer and I wanted to choke the guy to death. Sorry, not sorry. Like that gave him he to tell people that eh, like WAP got him. Like he listen, this kid is missing. And you're talking about hitting him. And to say WAP got him like that tells me that that made you happy to do. That you got joy from doing that. Chris is bad enough, right? Imagine being Sebastian though, and then having your mom, your mother, the woman who gave birth to you, the woman who brought you into this world, the woman who's supposed to love you and protect you, the woman who is supposed to be there for you, just sits there and lets it happen and doesn't say a word. The woman who is asked, is Sebastian a burden to you guys? The woman sits there and says nothing. That's the type of mother that Sebastian has. And that is sick. That is worse, in my opinion. She is worse than he is. He was the abuser. He was an abuser. He was let's just say it. I mean, he was a straight up douchebag to Sebastian. But Sebastian didn't even have his mom in his corner because she constantly, over and over and over again, chose her husband over her son. And that I have no sympathy for. None whatsoever. I don't feel for her one bit. I just don't. And I never will. I think that is a sad excuse for a mother. And some people might think I'm being harsh or I'm being mean or, I'm just attacking her for no reason. That is not the case. Well, we know she was, Dr. Mama, by her mother. The mother that she then allowed her son to be around. The mother that she then left her son with so she could go out and eat dinner. No sympathy for that woman. She can sit on TV and she can cry and she can conjure up those tears all she wants. I don't care. Sebastian is the victim in this case, not the mom, not the stepdad. I mean, who is gonna do you're gonna leave your son with the woman who sexually abused you as a child? You sick, sick individual. I, I don't understand it. I just I hope and pray that Sebastian is found safe. This is crazy. I mean, this is crazy. This woman should be locked up. Chris should be locked away. It's very frustrating as a mother to watch this unfold like it is. Good morning, Jessica girl. Yeah. 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 It's sick. It's sick. The whole family's sick. Chris's whole side of the family is evil. Katie's whole side of the family is sick freaking weirdos. Sick. None of them should ever be around children. Period. Period. It's disgusting. I mean, my gosh. Yeah, that's what I mean though. She allowed her son to FaceTime with her assaulter. This woman who is not allowed to have any contact with children. And you allow your son to speak with her on a regular basis on FaceTime. It's like, what is wrong with you? She does not deserve the title of mother. I don't care. She doesn't. I had a mother that constantly chose men over her children, that chose lots of things over her children. So I understand from that side of it. Like, I get it. I was a kid in that, with a mom like that. So I have no sympathy for mothers like that. Um, I don't think, wasn't she, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't she released in 2019? I'll have to go look into that because Now they are saying that he could take care of himself. Stayed all day at his dad's when he was working. Yeah, 99 years of probation. Like, that's crazy. Should have never let her ass out of jail in the first place. But, no, it's sometimes, guys, it is hard. It's a hard thing. This is, covering cases like this is not easy for so many reasons. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not fun. It's not the only joy you get out of it is watching justice prevail. And if that doesn't happen, it's not a good thing, Oh, 2015. Yeah. So don't quote me on that, guys. I have it all written in notebooks. I have like 4 notebooks just full of things written down from everything. It's crazy. My dad was a really good guy, but he died when I was 8. He was only 34. Died of a heart attack. I'm 36. I think about that all the time. Like, damn. Ugh. Yeah, I just would never let that happen. That's not I just couldn't. I couldn't do that. Like I've told my husband multiple times, you know, I'm like, if it ever come down to it, I said I would, I would choose my kids in a heartbeat over you. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, yes, you're right. Mohawk mom. 2019 is when her grandfather passed away and she took Sebastian there. Um Regarding KP, her family, and CP and his family, the evil that exists. Remember CP stating that when you find a partner that's on the same page, it's a beautiful thing. They both enjoy the evil. Clearly. Never would I ever put any of my children in that position. No mother would, though. No loving mother would ever put their child in a position to be around a sex offender like that. I'm sorry. They wouldn't do it. Mother or not, I don't give a shit. It's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's extremely frustrating. I understand. But um what if everyone is wrong and we are overlooking things we don't want to see? Well, there are a lot of different theories. There are a lot of different, you know, theories that people have of what may have happened to Sebastian. But I think there's some very important things that can't be overlooked. Like, for example, according to Katie herself, she was the only person home with Sebastian that night. Okay? She claims that when she got up the next morning, the doors were all locked. The windows were all shut and the doors were all locked. Sebastian was not seen leaving the home on any surveillance camera of anywhere at all, period. So we know he didn't walk out of the home on his own accord. There was no scent picked up outside of the home. No scent whatsoever. So you tell me, what's enough? What else could it be? And listen, we're all welcome to have our own different opinions. Everybody's not going to see the same things. Everybody's not going to agree. And I'm cool with that. As long as we all do it in a respectful way, I'm cool. I think we're close to things that they don't want us to find out about. I think that's why they're pushing the construction site that he walked out, because the only other option is foul play. Only one flashlight went back to the home and one wakes up. The lies, the inconsistencies, and all the stuff the Proudfoots have said about CA and mocking him, etc. So they gave everyone opinions. Lots of different theories. But I mean, you have to have something that makes you think no foul play involved. And that I just don't see that. Where is that option? Where is that stuff that backs up it not being foul play? That's all I'm saying. But what if I'm playing devil's advocate? But what if he was carried out the window and Sebastian wiggled away, which is why Max went to the pond? Carried away, but he was carried out, but we wiggled away. I mean, I feel like if that's the case and he was like awake and not drugged, then he would have been screaming if somebody were trying to kidnap him if he were not drugged. And I'm sure neighbors would have heard screams at that point. I'm sure his mother, who was asleep, might have heard something. But if he did wiggle away, like you say, that would mean he would have ran off somewhere. Scents would have been picked up. Because the actual facts that we have is that the last time the public, anybody besides Katie, saw Sebastian was when he was getting in her car leaving the Texas Roadhouse. That's it. That's the last time he was ever seen alive. Or seen, period. And then all of a sudden, he's just poof. He's just disappeared. and he wasn't seen leaving the house, and his scent wasn't picked up from him leaving, walking out of the home, and he's not seen on camera anywhere, except the only thing we have is the flashlight videos at 3 a.m, which, what are you doing, Nala? Which we've been told was a garbage truck, blah, blah, which I don't buy for 1 second. And the only thing the cops have said about that video is that right at this moment, it's not evidence, but it may be in the future. To me, that says they just don't have enough to prove who it is on holding the flashlights. That's my thing. Like, not only was he not picked up on any of the video cam or any of the ring cameras of neighbors, but he also, if he would have been walking somewhere, right, you would have been picked up on some camera somewhere. And Katie getting up in that morning and driving to the school, that sticks out to me. That is a red flag to me. Because why would she have done that? She knew he wasn't in school. She knew he didn't walk to school. He didn't have shoes on. Why she would, drive to that school in the morning makes no sense to me. And it wasn't to check and see if he went to school, because her ass never got out of the car. So what's the real reason for her getting in her car and driving somewhere that morning? I mean, it's crazy. All these cameras, and I showed you guys on one of the videos that I did that Sumner County in 2019, 2020. You'd have to go back and check the video, but they have a whole integrated in Hendersonville. They have a whole integrated camera system from businesses and residences and, stores and all of these things, that all of their camera footage is integrated so police can access it when they need to, in case something happens. But yet they have this in place when Sebastian went missing, but he's never been seen on one camera. I'm almost done. I have talked about different theories that I believe may have happened to Sebastian in all my previous videos that I've done. So if you have not seen them, and I give reasons as to why this is a plausible thing, why this may be what happened. So if you have not seen those, just go back and rewatch those videos, check them out, because at this point, I don't see how it's anything but foul play. Oh yeah, I did a whole video about it, Lisa. So you should definitely check that out. It's absolutely crazy. Exactly. Not even just all around town. Never seen again. Never seen again after leaving the Texas Roadhouse with his mother. It's crazy. But I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Please hit that like button if you have not already done so, and please sub up to the channel if you have not already done so. We appreciate you guys. I'm going to end this, but I want to tell you real quick. So I will be starting another live in just a few minutes. I will not be talking. It is a prayer vigil I'm sorry, not a vigil. It is it's going to be a live prayer. My goodness. It's going to be a live prayer session for Sebastian with the candle lit. I'm going to ask that people come in, leave your prayers for Sebastian and is to be found safe and come home, and just leave any thoughts and prayers for Sebastian in the chat. If you catch it after it's live, because I think it's only going to run about an hour. If you catch it afterwards, just leave your prayers down in the comment section for Sebastian and his family that does care about his well-being. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. All right. And then the members only live we will be doing tonight at 8:00. Also talking about Sebastian. So let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions. Keep spreading that light. And I will see you all next time. Thank you guys.